Hey, Terry, what day is it? Y'all know what day it is. It's just another expiration Friday. Whoa, whoa. Did you hear that? You probably didn't hear it. But Siri actually told me what the date was and what time was. Not No, he's talking to you. Crazy iPhone 2 acting up again. It is just another expiration Friday, checking in on my trades, and you know what I'm hoping to find? A pile of money. Yeah, yeah. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at it now. I was just checking my little notebook here because I don't think I have my daily trades up to date yet. Let's go take a look and see what they look like on today. No, I don't have UPS on there. So we did roll the call on UPS 157.50. Did it fill? It filled. Yeah, it filled 3 and 13. Why don't you roll them out further? I like I like short trades. I love the weeklies. I feel like I can have more control of them. I do run numbers to see percentages as far as overall annualized return. Like for instance, for instance, Netflix. So this is not a weekly trade, is it? But you remember, I paid a lot of money for that tiny home. I paid $40,000, and right now Netflix is, if I wanted to buy that same tiny home, I could buy it for $37,950. So I overpaid at the time, and I thought, well, I'm just going to start collecting those rents. Rents due, tenant. So I've been doing so, and the reason I went to 1020 is because of volatility. And the reason that volatility is high in this trade is because of earnings. So Netflix, let's go to the flicks. Netflix has their earnings on 10/18. Okay, so after market on October 18th, Netflix will report their earnings. Now, most people would say don't trade through earnings. Well, this is just a straight wheel. This is the wheel deal Holyfield trade on Netflix. It doesn't matter to me if I own it or not. I'm just looking to collect the dollar bills. So we're way down in our whiskey on what we paid for this tiny home, but we're going to collect enough rent and likely have this called away at some point for the $40,000 that we have into it. But we collected nearly $800 in just a 2-week trade that's going to be going on. So we'll keep an eye on that. But that's some of the thought processes I have. I'm not saying they're right. They're just the thought processes that I have. Speaking of which, Pepsi, wow, 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 going down. So Pepsi has just been really making my butt stink, and I own now 800 shares. So I did. It was you. You're just a glutton for punishment. It's got to bottom at some point, don't you think? I know that the market is overreacting because people are taking weight loss pills and shots and drugs, and that's going to be a big deal. But guess what? They're still going to drink Pepsi. They're still going to eat chili cheese Fritos. So stop your overreacting. What is Tesla doing? Why does that chart look funny? That's because it's not up to date, playa. Squirrel. So we're back here. I paid $156.57 for Pepsi this morning. It is currently at almost $159. Hey, how about that? So I may even look to trade some calls on Pepsi because they should have some nice volatility. Because I think it's Tuesday they report earnings. I may just hold it, hoping for a pop. And then we did buy some more Devon. Again, glutton for punishment, 42.70 on the Devon shares, and it's currently at 43.57. So, my thesis on Devon is this. They're going to report their earnings on, I believe, on November 7th, and they're going to say, look at all the money we made. And then what do they have to do? Well, they return 50% of their net income to shareholders between their dividend and their special dividend. So their special dividend, this is, again, do not take any of this as investment or investing advice because you've watched, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just having a good time trying to learn. And sometimes you learn by your mistakes. But if we look at the dividends on Devon Energy and look at dividend history, okay, they return their net profit to their shareholders. Hey, that's me. So their regular dividend right now is at 20 cents a quarter per share. Okay. Special dividend is currently at 29 cents a quarter per share. My thesis is when they announce their next dividend, it's going to be a beautiful hike on the special dividend. And look back to some of what the special's been. There's 69 cents a share, buck 17 a share last year. Hello. So we've got that going for us as far as how I feel about Devon Energy. And believe me when I tell you, getting little reminders on my iPhone too about all the different positions I hold that are at 52-week lows, like Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Walgreens, Pfizer, Bank of America, and now Devon Energy. It's not great. That's not what we want to hear, but it is part of investing and certainly part of trading. So that's what you got to deal with. So I'm just rolling with it. Currently today we're at $1,660. So Fridays, if you've been watching the channel, Fridays are usually our biggest day as far as premium collection because we're rolling because I do like to catch as much action through the weekend as possible. But just a little thought process on that. So I do like the short-term trades because I feel like I can control more of the action. But I also want to look at the annualized return. And like on this Netflix, it doesn't matter to me if they strip those shares from me, if they repossess my tiny home at $400, which is $40,000. It doesn't matter because I'm trying to collect as much rent premium as possible. So we did roll the UPS, collected 207. So we're up to date on our trades today. So let's go to the board. And earlier I was just, the jobs report came out hot, sizzling. Then the market was like gut punch. And then like, you know what? I think we're good. Making a recovery, which is nice for me because it's just been downtown the Chinatown over the last month or so. In fact, let's look. Don't do it, Bart. Don't look. Let's look at the last month. Hey, you're only down 92,000. Only down 92 grand in 1 month. You could have bought yourself like a nice car for that. So let's look at what we have on the board. AbbVie, I'm looking to roll that because AbbVie has gone from the red to the green today, but I don't think it's up enough for me to make a move because next week is ex-dividend day, and then the following week, I believe, is earnings. So let's look at the AbbVie, and I want to hold on to AbbVie because I know women like Botox. You almost said it with a straight face. And AbbVie owns Botox. So, and of course, they'll be coming out with their weight loss drugs. As soon as somebody comes out with the pill instead of that shot that makes people nauseous, look out. Make sure you own whatever company that is. So, dividend scorecard is, so next week on October 12th, that is ex-dividend date. And then earnings is when? Is it the following week or the week after? It's going to be the 27th. Okay, so I want to play my cards right through those dates. I don't want to lose the stock because I definitely want to collect my dividends. I have 700 shares. So that means, right, that $1.48 per share will be in my pocketbook. $1.48 times the 700 shares. So I want $1,036. I do. Ladies are at the coffee shop having a breakfast quiche and a latte as we speak. So I got to be able to pay for them. Kid 1, 2, and Sparkle Barbie at the coffee shop as we speak. Later, we're going to see 30th anniversary of Hocus Pocus at the Fancy Movie Theater in Portage, Indiana. The big puffy leather seats with the heat and air and all the buttered popcorn I could eat, followed by dinner at Capo's, fried green beans, one of the greatest pizzas of all time. And they have like 1997 prices, which makes it even more appealing to me. So back to the board, back to reality. So those puts I put on Tuesday are making me look pretty smart, but we know I'm not. So the crowd is doing good here at 99%. I'll probably pull that off any minute now just to put that money back into collecting 4.9% instead of just sitting there weaseling around for a dollar bill. Canadian Solar making me look like I should be wearing a dunce cap right now. So I'll put that on later. Datadog, $84 puts, looking very nice at 98% profit. Palantir, $14 puts. Palantir moonshotting today. They're at 16.55 as we speak. So those $14 puts are looking good. 87% profit there. Snowflake is moondogging it today too, aren't they? Let's see. 147 puts. Are they under any pressure? Under pressure. Wow, up 5.28%. The Snowflake. So we got that going for us. Teladoc. Wait, we skipped one. SoFi, 750 calls. They're in the money big time. Whoa, SoFi at $8 now. So there wouldn't be much action for me to roll this. But let's do the math just to see if there's anything interesting about it. Yeah, there is, because it could collect. So if I collected $20, let's pull up the abacus. If I collected $20 on the $1,500 that I have tied up in SoFi, divided by the 7 days in the trade, multiplied by the annualized 365, that's still 70% return on the dollar bills. It's only $20, but that can pay for one of those lattes from my ladies. My ladies. Let's just try to fill it now. $18. What do you say? Then we got all that downside protection anyway. So there's $18. Let's do the math again. 18 divided by 1,500 in dollar bills divided by $7 in the trade. 62%. I'd take that all day and twice on Sunday. Write it down on your little notepad. SoFi, roll, call, 750 to 1013, $18. Good news. I got my waiting at the post office for me right now are my 38 vintage baseball cards that I had graded. So I'm super excited. I'm actually been fighting myself because online I could go to the grading company's website, click into my account and see the grades, but nope. I like Christmas. So I manufacture different Christmases in my life, one of which is grading baseball cards. So probably have a video on that. Where are we at? Teladoc, down in the whiskey. Not going to roll it. I want to take possession of those. Are they still down today, or they try to make a sympathy recovery? No, they're still down 1%. But just think of that, Teladoc. Look into that company and tell me that doesn't make sense. It does. And then Zscaler, last thing on the board, it's at 98% profit. That one contract, 146, and they're moonshotting it today too, aren't they? Holy moly, they're at 160, 4.5% up. So that's what we have as we speak. Update on the trades that are already on the board. I've got some closing to do. It's closing time. Looking to take some risk off the table, put it back in the 4.9% interest that I'm going to gather. Looking over at Lady Godiva's new account. She is $14 puts on Palantir on the board, so those are good.